Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching the Vero G Spotlight TV show with your host, Vero G. Today we have an amazing show. We have the New York City panel here. I'll put state in there, by the way. City panel here to these both amazing candidates. And this is the candidate forum for both of these amazing parties. We're going to discuss on their work, on their amazing background, and also much more what they're going to do for the city of New York for 2025, what they're running for. So I'm very excited to introduce them in the show. I cannot wait to show the world what they have to offer for New York City, and all that said and done. So on this end of the corner of the table here, we have the New York City, I'm excited. The New York City, he's running for New York City, of course, for 2025. For City Council, for District 2, the one and only Jason Murillo. Welcome.
Hello, Veronica. Nice to see you again. Nice to meet you.
Thank you as well.
Once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's a great what you're doing here for candidates.
Thank you.
You know, giving them a platform.
Thank
you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And on this side, on the other table, we have the one, the only. He's running for Borough President of Queens, New York City. The one and only Stephen Delvalle. I got it. I'm working on it.
You got it. You did it. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you again, Vero G.
Thank you.
Jason Murillo. It's a pleasure. I started back with them at the radio station, and I want to say just thank you so much for your support, especially being a new politician. And not my favorite word, by the way. And it's great to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time, both of you guys. So I know you guys have a busy schedule and you got a lot of things lined up. So we're gonna get right into it. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
all right. So we're gonna start with you, sir, Jason Murillo. A bit about yourself quickly and why you're running for New York City, especially for your district as City Council.
That's right. My name is Jason Murillo, and I'm a almost lifelong resident of the Lower East Side East Village since 1988, 89. And since adolescent and adulthood, I've been fighting for my community. I've been a vital part of it, doing numerous things throughout the year, summer programs, after school programs year round, back to school toy drives, holiday toy drives and clothing drives, stuff like that, and a lot more. I've been working with many nonprofits over the past decades, and so I finally decided to run for public office last year, 2024, because I've been fed up with the one-party system of the Democratic Party. They have decimated New York City, New York State, and they have decimated specifically District 2. From our East River Park, from the NYCHA houses, the environmental, the whole thing, stripping tenants of their dignity, of their rights, and so on. So I fought against the closure of Mount Sinai and Beth Israel. That's the only hospital that we have south of 14th Street on the whole east side of Manhattan, unless you go all the way to by City Hall. That's the next hospital down there. So I've been tirelessly advocating and fighting for my community, for my district. I'm a proud member of the New York State Conservative Party. I am a community leader for the 74th Assembly District as well, and a longtime advocate for the elderly, for families, for people with disabilities. I'm a person with disabilities myself, so I'm just here representing all those people out there that don't have a voice. I'm here to be their voice and to represent them.
Well, we want to say thank you for what you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
And just continue on the fight. Definitely. Awesome. All right, so let's get to you now. Okay, so Von, I'm gonna keep working on it. Von Stephen Delvalle, I got it finally.
Perfect. Yes, you got it. No worries.
Yes. Okay, so tell us more a bit about yourself and where you were also wanting to run for Borough President of your county.
Yes. So, hi everyone. Vaughn again. I love it.
Yes.
Great to be here with you guys. So, it all started first out with me running for mayor of New York City. We did some radio stations, and so there was this day I was just seeing everything that was happening in the news, and just, we all know New York City isn't what it was before COVID. Pushing us in just such desperate times, very much agonizing to just see my fellow New Yorkers not happy. And then, as you said, it's like they are cutting costs each and every way you go. Mm-hmm. Cutting our NYPD, cutting our fire departments. As you said, they're closing hospitals, especially in the Lower East Side. For them to be closing hospitals, it's crazy. But for them to even be closing a hospital in the city, and we have politicians who are currently in charge of our city. Yes. And our city, our news agencies are focused on the wrong things. We're all focused on Mayor Adams. Yes, Mayor Adams. Yes. Okay. We see the Chelsea houses getting bulldozed. When we were at the Chelsea houses, like I said, and I tested him, Mayor Adams, if you really care for this city, step up, do something. You really need to step down. Don't step up, step down. Ooh. And it's about that time, because Andrew Cuomo, we see who's joining the race now. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, I'm going to take a step back. I'll be honest. Out of all the mayor candidates, my opinion, I would vote for Cuomo.
Oh, man.
And I know, and I understand the situation here, and I'm not even Democrat, again, not bipartisan, because his background and his experience. But back to me, is that...
I'm a Curtis Sowell guy.
Yeah, no, that's good. Listen, we gotta always have the open to say, hey, I don't like him, and that's good. I love that. Because when we're not having conversations, that's no good. When we are having the conversations, that's great. Exactly. And so just really seeing everything that's going on with our government being corrupt. Yeah. The things what's happening with Cooney, just all of our, as you said, our people without a voice. And our underserved communities. I stepped up because I am a native New Yorker. I'm not a professional politician. No one can buy me. Absolutely no one can buy me. And I stand by that. What I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that it gets done in any way that I can. And I'm going to want the New Yorkers to help me do that too, as for Queens. So just being a New Yorker and knowing what it really like, how it feels to be in bad situations, I think I have the experience to be able to do that. Andrew Cuomo said something. He said, we don't need anyone who's coming to do on-the-job training. And he was coming at the candidates.
I caught that. Yeah, wait a minute.
And I was like, hold on, he did not just come after me because I'm running for borough president. I had to switch it. This is a messy race. So, and so I am for the people of New York.
Some of the people that I'm running against, I don't look too bad.
No,
Either one of us.
Great. You're great. Yeah. I mean, we actually do care.
We're not indicted, at least.
Oh, wow.
We can say that.
Yes.
Or we're not a convicted sex offender.
Right, listen, we didn't put no
convicted felon.
No, listen, no jibs, okay?
No, I'm just saying.
No, that is true. I'm not pointing any fingers, but that is very true. Yeah. you gotta, but that's the thing. It's like, I think it's time for the people to run our city.
I love that.
People like him, people like myself, and just I know already what you want to do, and I see the passion. I know his passion, and this guy doesn't stop. He just keeps going and keep going, and that's what we must do as New York. Our state motto is Excelsior, which is Latin for ever moving upward. But you're not just moving upward. We're going to the future, and while we're going to the future, we're also moving upward. So Excelsior.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys.
That was an opening.
Thank you. I mean, he just took it away. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Mine,
no, it's good. You guys have good points, okay?
Hey, it's one of my campaign slogans.
Oh.
Leading our future.
Leading our future. Wow.
There you go. But I want to say thank you as well for
Thank you.
Just want to serve your country, not your country too, but
Yes.
serve your
Our city.
our city and this whole our state as well. So
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Mine's is innovating our city, by the way. I like yours. I was just very similar. Love
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Great minds think alike.
Yes, I'm into that.
Definitely. So we have a few questions, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I'm going to start with you first, Vaughn. Vaughn. Stephen Delvalle, okay, running again for Borough President of Queens this year in New York City, 2025. First question I'm going to ask you is about education. Okay. Should specialized high schools continue to use merit-based entrance exams in order to maintain their high level of academic rigor?
Well, I understand our education system and the standardized tests that they're speaking about. It's a yes and no kind of thing. There's pros and cons to each one of those, right?
Okay.
And I kind of have some notes here.
Sure.
First off, we need to make sure that we are teaching our kids that they're getting their understanding, and we need to preserve academic standards, right? Because we can't just pass them through, and then guess what? They get in the real world, and they're like, wait, they're scratching their head. At the same inst, we want our school systems to be more diverse. Yes. This testing system can also hold students back, okay? Because everyone comes from different homes, right? And some of our New Yorkers don't have leaders at home. Some of our parents are dealing with mental health issues. And it just makes it so much difficult for these students to be able to pass these tests, and you know, so that's it's a yes and no, but I think we need to make sure we're preserving our academics and make sure that New York students are the smartest in the nation.
Oh man, I would like to vote for you right now. You're welcome. You're
not from Queens.
Yeah, there you go. First and foremost, Queens right now is building. Okay, second one, I'm going to get to you in a minute as well, Jason Murillo, is criminal justice reform.
Criminal justice reform.
Yes.
So with criminal justice reform, I was speaking to another mayor candidate. Some of you may know him as Marcus Garvey's grandson. We had a conversation yesterday over the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, which was, and he's very inspiring. He's unorthodox. He's different in the way that he does things. And apparently, I remember this case before I actually got to speak to him. And basically, he was accused of a crime. When he was somewhere else. And we see this happen actually in the Queens District Attorney's Office recently, where people were being accused of particular crimes, and how are they being accused of a crime and they were already in jail? And then also with people getting rewards for putting criminals behind bars, you know, and they're innocent. So it is a real thing, but it's all about the procedures and the training and to make sure that the paperwork is looked upon and double checked, excuse me.
No, okay, definitely. Well, part of that question is, should cash bail be allowed for repeat offenders charged with crimes such as shoplifting, open air drug use, harassment, and assault?
Well, you know, all of those actually sound like mental health issues, right? Each and every one of those. This is why we need to invest more in our mental institutions. Again, there's pros and cons to both of those. However, we have people who are committing crimes over and over again, especially with assaulting people. After a point, you can't be doing that. You can't be attacking people and hurting people, because what happens next? Next thing you know, it went from punching somebody to now they're killing someone. And we need to be careful, because we see what happened to our elderly. Our elderly being mistreated as well, and a lot of these cases are getting away. So they're getting people are getting in trouble who are innocent, but yet the people who are criminals who are hurting our old people, they're getting away with it, because how do they sound the alarm when they're dealing with Alzheimer's and all of these things? So reform, bail cash reform, I say yes in the end, because we don't want to mess up people who are truly innocent and deserve that.
Okay, thank you so much for your answers. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Okay, to you, Jason Murillo. First question, same question, and second as well. So, for education, first one.
Yeah, for education, definitely I support merit-based. We don't want to reward students that are subpar. We want the best students as possible, and we want to have the best education as possible, you know, in the country. So I support, you know, specialized schools being merit-based.
Yes.
I definitely support that.
So let's say, for example, there's children, you know, that all children are not in the same level,
Yeah.
right? And let's say some children are kind of maybe more left behind than others. So if, right, well, this is one question also I'm going to add to you the same question, is if, for example, you guys are in office and you see that the system is, you know the system is cracked. The system is not all that, right now it's happening, it's broken. So if you see there's a lot of children that are left behind and unfortunately don't have a lot of resources, what would you guys, both of you guys, do in your place to help enforce that in the education system?
You know, obviously, first of all, our schools need more funding. So without funding, not many things are possible.
Okay.
So we got to make sure that we refund our schools, our education system. We are probably the top 3% of the highest, you know, tax income city and states in the, you know, in the country.
Yeah.
But we have one of the lowest education systems in the whole country. And our students are below other schools, you know, other cities and other states.
Yeah.
So that's something that has to be addressed. And also we need to have more services, and we need to have a better curriculum, and we need to have better quality teachers. So it's a combination of things. And for the students that are, you know, being left behind, you know, we're gonna make sure that we have after-school programs for them, tutoring. Now you could do it virtually on your phone, on a computer. So we're gonna make sure that they have all the resources that they have available.
That's amazing. I just want to ask you just quickly in that same question, if you can answer that. Yeah.
Yes. So again, I agree. I actually, when I was young, I was in a special ed for some time.
Okay.
All right. And remember, Bush came up with that thing, no child left behind.
Yes.
And I think first we need to start with mental health again. They need counselors and things like this. How are they going to learn and be able to pick things up when they're going through things at home, whatever that may be? And some of my New Yorkers, you guys are dealing with things that no one can really imagine. And these people grow up to become our leaders, and sometimes they make mistakes. And we really need to support their mental health. That's number one. And number two, let's engage them in a way to where, as you said, we need career-driven curriculums. And why is that? We'll get them excited about life. I was in theater, right? So I love to be here. And what did I end up doing in my life? How do I make money? Through production. So if I wasn't given that, shout out to School for Classics, Academy for Thinkers, Writers, and Performers in East New York. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where I would be.
Oh, that's amazing.
So if we can have the more career-driven curriculums and get them involved in these kind of things,
yes.
We will really empower the students, and forget about what they're going through at home. They're gonna be so inspired that nothing will stop them, nothing will bring them down, because of why? They know that they have a future.
This is amazing. Well, thank you guys. You guys.
And I want to second that.
Go ahead. Yes.
Where we're sitting at right now is Manhattan Neighborhood Network TV studios. It's our local cable access community media hub for Manhattan. If it wasn't for a place like this, a person like me wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know, so I'm an alumni here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Nice.
Since 2001.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I started around 95, 96, but officially 2001. So, you know, this place gave me education. It inspired me, and I'm here. We need more Manhattan Neighborhood Networks.
Yes.
And that's one of the things, like you mentioned with theater and everything, we want to give career paths to our next generation, future generations. So we have to make sure that we safeguard places like this.
Yeah.
So shout out a cheap plug for Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Amazing answers. Thank you.
And your second question?
Yes. For the criminal justice reform, what's your input on that?
Well, if you follow my social media and my Twitter, my X, I post on there daily and often about law and order. We need a revamp and remove the cashless bail system. It has failed New Yorkers, and that is something that former Governor Cuomo implemented, back in 2017. And it is a big failure at the expense of human lives. There's so many victims because of the cashless bail system. It's unbelievable. There's so many victims, and I know many of them personally.
Yeah.
So we need to have cash bail fully restored. We need to lock up the criminals and throw away the key and go after violent offenders, drug dealers, gun traffickers, gangbangers, sexual offenders. We need to lock them up and go after them and not presidents.
Okay. Wow, thank you guys for
I
your
agree.
answers. Wow. Appreciate it. Okay. So we're going to change up. Actually, there's two more questions. Hey,
Yeah.
there's two more. Criminal. Okay, I realize that. All right, so I'm going to go back to you and then we'll follow back. Okay. So the second part of criminal justice reform for you guys is, should judges be allowed to apply a dangerous standard when setting bail?
Well, judges need to do a better job, because the judges is part of the problem. Is not just the district attorney, because the cops are overworked.
Yeah.
They keep arresting the same people over and over again. I have family and friends in law enforcement for a very long time, and they all have the same frustration that many New Yorkers have, is that they keep arresting the same people over and over again just to get released because of the stupid system, either with the cashless bail, the district attorneys, or soft on crime judges. So the judges need to be tough on crime. Yes, we do have a mental illness problem, and we need to be sympathetic towards the needs of those individuals. But at the same time, let's be sympathetic to the needs of the victims. The victims who are being shoved onto trains, being set on fire, being stabbed, robbed, shot, mugged, raped. Let's have sympathy for them. I am sick and goddamn tired of, let's be sympathetic to the perpetrators. Let's be sympathetic towards them. Everyone has a mental illness problem.
I see. Okay.
So the judges need to do their job. They need to, dangerous offenders that commit violent offenses and are repeat offenders, they need to be locked up. They need to hold these people and not release them. Now, if someone has like a substance abuse problem, maybe we could try something out with that. But if you're a repeat offender, I don't want to hear about you have a drug problem, you got a mental health problem, because you don't have a mental health problem when you shoved and killed somebody. You know, so judges have to do their part as well. They're just as guilty as the district attorneys who have failed New Yorkers.
Okay. All right. Thank you. What is your point on that as well?
Well, I actually went to the memorial of Debrina Kawam, who was burned on the subway train.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
She rest in peace.
Then yes, Debrina Kawam, and I love how they talked about how she was homeless, like that had something to do with her being set on fire. And as the person who committed the crime, this was his second time getting past border security.
What?
So repeat offenders. Like, here's the thing, but if we're not holding our governments accountable, listen, they're letting people go, these criminals go, because it's business for them. This is what I think so. And we need to hold these judges accountable as well, just as much as the district attorney's office. It's a revolving door, okay? And who are the victims? The New Yorkers. The crime is bad. We don't see tourism the way it was before.
No.
It's not the way it was. New York City isn't the way that it was before because people aren't being held accountable. They are killing innocent people just getting pushed on subway tracks, all of this. Yeah, we get it. Crime is always going to be around. But one thing that has to change is the convictions, right? And let's hold these perpetrators accountable, especially these repeat offenders. Yeah, we get it. Like with, like you said, we all got mental issues, mental health. All of us in this world, if you're human, you know, it's been hard, especially after COVID. But as you said, I don't want to hear it was a substance, it was this, it was that. Listen, this person is dead. Can we bring that person back and be like, no? And people are getting let go scot-free. And it's the broken window effect we see, right? You see one broken window, somebody's going to throw a rock at the other one. Well, why not? Everybody's breaking it. Everybody's getting away.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out if these people are dangerous or not, of course. Like, if somebody is committing larcenies and things like this, we could look at that a little bit different versus a domestic violence case, right? Sometimes people have fights, and by mistake, a person falls and hit their head, and they're dead. Both of them, I feel bad for both of them because they didn't mean to do that to that person. However, now you have to go to jail. You know, and how can we step into it? Well, we need to make sure that before we send you out into the streets, you're going to need anger management. If you want to get back out on the street, you need to go to rehab. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And they need counselors to see, okay, are you ready to go back out there or whatever? They need to make sure that they have the resources to figure out their issues and problems.
Very good. Thank you for your answer. Wow,
Yep.
thank you. And we have one more question for the criminal justice reform. So it's for both of you guys. For the last question is, should discovery law reform be added to the 2025 New York budget to prevent unnecessary criminal case dismissals? And these reforms were recently proposed by Hochul and supported by the district attorneys in all 5 New York City boroughs. You want to start? Okay.
Repeat that question again.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. So the question is, should discovery law reform be added to the 2025 New York budget to prevent unnecessary criminal case dismissals? These reforms were recently proposed by Governor Hochul and supported by the district attorneys in all 5 New York City boroughs.
Yeah, I mean, this should definitely be reformed because obviously what we have right now isn't working.
Right.
So we definitely need reform. We need reform all the way, you know, top to bottom. You know, so yeah, we definitely need reform, and we need to go even beyond that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so, you know, I think one of the things we definitely need to work on is reducing case dismissals due to procedural issues. You know, and we need to enhance efficiency and fairness for everyone. We get that. We all get that. And we need to really look at our procedures and see where are we going wrong? Where are we going wrong? And we could figure it out. Listen, we live in a time of chat GPT. And let me tell you, I'm sure there's tons of people who's using it. And you'll be silly not to use it. And our government need to really look at data-driven solutions. Let's see what's happening. Let's look at these cases, and then we can implement a change in procedures, right? And then let's see how that's going. And then once we see how that's going, we do it again. If something needs to be changed, then we'll change it according to the data.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for the answers. Thank you. All right, so next one we're going to talk about, which is a very touchy issue in New York City, as you guys know, living in New York City as well, is the one and only public safety.
Yes.
All right, so first one, actually the other one here, the question to you guys both is, City Council has decided to close the overcrowded Rikers Island prison and build 4 smaller borough-based jails that would have approximately 40% less total inmate capacity. Should Rikers Island Prison remain open with better training for guards and renovated to include mental health and drug rehabilitation facilities instead of closing it completely?
Yeah.
Okay, Musa, okay.
Yeah, I know it's controversial. I would keep Rikers Island open, and I would have it just like you said. I would have it for maybe lower level offenders, and have it more as a kind of like a therapeutic place, you know, something totally different, you know, so it would be for people with mental health and drug treatment.
I love that.
You know, so something like a halfway, like a gateway program, you know, so instead of, you know, for the lower level offenders, obviously. The higher level offenders, they have to, you know, go elsewhere, go to one of those local upcoming jails that we're going to have, because for decades, Rikers has been infamous, you know, a lot of deaths, a lot of mistreatment, neglect, abuse by the guards to the inmates and vice versa. So let's change it up. Let's use that. Let's continue to utilize that space, you know, so that we have already established. It doesn't cost us anything additional, you know. So, yeah, I would definitely repurpose Rikers Island into a, you know, like a community-based, you know, program, like a pilot program or something, you know, for lower level, you know, non-violent offenders, you know, so especially for people with mental health issues and substance abuse that could be addressed.
Okay. Thank you so much, Risa. You answered as well. Yes.
I just want to say, we already said great minds think alike.
There we go.
Because I was thinking the same thing, especially with the mental health and everything, because, all right, if we, let's say hypothetically, it's like what they're doing with the Chelsea housing. You want to get rid of infrastructure we already have. And what they want to get rid of it and build homes for the rich, you know, which is, I get it, but we're displacing New Yorkers who are vulnerable. And so, okay, so now, so again, let's look at Rikers Island, right? What are they going to replace it with? I heard they were going to like replace it with like some big millionaire was going to buy a billionaire.
Maybe they'll put a casino there.
Yeah, they're going to put a casino.
Oh my.
And then crime is going to be nuts. And so I think we need to keep it open. And as he said, that was excellent what you said. We can change it around, use the same infrastructure, retrain these guards, and implement a system to whereas, again, people are able to go there and work on their mental health.
Have job programs.
Job programs for when they get ready to get out, and we don't have people in and out. And because we see a lot of gangs, when they're first come into the jail, they pick up on so much. That is an education institution to educate criminals. We need to change that. And once we really change that, then we'll start to see New Yorkers, hardworking New Yorkers. We already have New Yorkers who've been through it. They've been in jail. Even Coach Rock himself, he's working with juveniles, with the juveniles. You know, these kids are gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? And he's been through it. He's been through jail and everything like that, and he learned his lesson. Not all of them do. I've seen a lot of people who learn their lesson and they move on. And guess what? They build their community. They go to their youth and say, "Hey, you don't have to do that, because I did that.
Right.
I remember it was Jay-Z said, I sold crack, so I wouldn't have to do that. And that lyric is just amazing because if you see me put my hand in the fire and I get burned, or you want to see the same thing too, you just want to experience it. Okay, so when you do something wrong, we are going to find who you are and you're going to be prosecuted. Okay, and it's because everybody is committing the crimes because they see their friends and their other fellow members getting away with murder.
Yes, thank you guys for your answers. Now I'm going to answer the public safety something separate. I want to actually both equally. My question is, us taking the trains. Transportation is accessible with trains and Metro North and all these other places to get back to work or to anywhere you're going in a regular day in New York City. So for both of you guys, the question is, public safety, the safety for New Yorkers, taking the train, you know how vulnerable we are now. There's a situation, as you guys mentioned earlier, of, taking the train, they end up being killed. Of people mental health right now, mental health and all that. So my question, both of you, same question, is what would you guys do if you guys run into office, and what changes would you make, both of you, in the sense of the public safety and making sure New Yorkers are safe in the trains?
So,
Okay.
Along with that, we have our subway system, which is just overcrowded with people. I live in Far Rockaway. So for me to get here back and forth, you experienced I was late a few times because it was there's no subway actually running to Far Rockaway until May. So I think one thing we really need to do, and Canarsie, I've seen Canarsie requested for it, and Curtis Silva, please make this happen for the people of Canarsie. That is your community. Curtis Silva, I love him. He's amazing. Honestly, he's amazing. And they want access to the New York City ferries. Let's make the ferry system much more accessible. It's safe. There's bathrooms on it. It's comfortable. You're out on the water. We're going to see a change for the New Yorkers because they get that second to be like, okay, life is great. Life is beautiful. And I think we just need other options like the ferry. As for our subway, it is being innovated. The people who run MTA are totally different from our government, which is crazy. Very oh my God, talented people, but they're not able to do but so much because of our government. Don't blame the MTA people. They're very intelligent, actually. I looked at all their backgrounds and stuff. So let's give MTA the access to actually change the system. It's a state program. So I think it's coming along actually very nicely with the cameras on the subways and everything. But again, let's open up our waterways.
Thank you for your answer.
I partially agree with him as far as having open up our waterways, have more ferries, stuff like that, accessible, alternatives for the public transit system and the overcrowdedness and stuff like that. As far as public safety, obviously we need more cops. New York City has the lowest level of uniform on-duty police officers since the 1990s. Since David Dinkins, Mayor Dinkins was in office. So that is outrageous and disgraceful that we're in 2025, the greatest city in the world, and we have the lowest police force in generations. And this is a systematic problem that we have police officers leaving in droves on a monthly basis. They are even going to other counties, other towns, other states, even for lower pay because of the craziness that's going on with our elected officials and the disrespect by our great law enforcement that protects us and keeps us safe. So if I'm elected, when I'm elected, I will have a budget to hire at least 10 to 20,000 new police officers, and we're gonna put them in our subways. They're gonna be visual at all times. in the subway cars, on the platforms, patrolling the stations. If, like, I'm not playing around. If we have to turn our subway system into an airport and have checkpoints and metal detectors, so be it. Yeah. But we need to get the criminals out of the subways. We need to get the homeless out of our subways. We need to find a place for them. And we need to make our subways safe for all New Yorkers and for all the people that visit New York.
Okay, nice. Thank you guys for your answers. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next one is mental health. What we're talking about today, most of the show today. We got a lot of stuff good going on here, guys. All right, so this is for both of you guys. Same question. All right, so the mental health question is, do you support expanding the use of involuntary inpatient mental health treatment when treatment is essential to a person's inability to provide for their personal safety or medical care?
This is a very popular topic because we see the outreach. We see the outreach, the people in the orange vests speaking to people who's homeless or who look very disheveled. They may have a bunch of stuff with them, things like this. So here's the thing. If somebody is offering you a place, a start, right? Okay. And you're telling them no, and you're living disheveled, your clothes are messed up, your health is bad. I think at some point we need to take these people in and try to help them. And after a certain amount of times of them being there and trying to get that help, what are we waiting for them to look at? Debrina Kawam. You know, she didn't want to go anywhere. She had places and families, you know, but she just didn't want to be there, so she gets burnt up on a subway train. We have people who, you could see their feet are swollen, huge. They're not getting the health care that they need, and they know they need it. It's something mentally wrong. If my leg is busted and bleeding and I'm not going to take care of it and I'm sleeping on the subway and I don't have to do that, because truly they don't. There is help. There are the resources, and they're just like, no, I'm happy with this. Okay, no problem. But you're not going to do it on our subways and take up space on our subways. We get it. It's hard. Life is hard. We've all been through something. And I think at some point, yes, we have to take some in and try to retrain their brain.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely we need more resources for people with mental illness and the homeless. So that's one of the things we should focus on, is having both outpatient and inpatient facilities. When I was growing up, there was a lot more outpatient facilities, like day centers for people with mental disabilities or homeless or somewhere in between to go to. And over the past, like in my community alone, in my district, in District 2, Lower East Side, Alphabet City, St. Mark's area, Union Square, we used to have several places for people like that to go to. But over the past 15, 20 years, those places all shuttered. Wow. We used to have one on Avenue C, Losida Avenue, on 6th Street, the corner of 6th Street between 6th and 5th Street. We used to have a place right there. We used to have a place over in St. Mark's. And because of lack of funding and resources that these organizations used to receive, their funding got cut short. Our community lost several places like that. So I would support more mental health, outpatient facilities, also inpatient, and also transitional housing and vocational programs for those individuals.
Okay.
I love that.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you.
That was a better response than mine. I have to tell you that one. I love that.
You guys are good. Both of your answers.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys good answers. Good answers. That's what the New Yorkers want to hear.
Yes.
What you guys are going to do. So that's pretty cool. Now, the next title for both of you guys is homelessness. We're just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few questions for that. The first one is the number of shelters in residential neighborhoods housing people with serious mental illness. Again with that. Drug addiction or a violent criminal record have increased. Would you support requiring the city to house people with mental illnesses, drug addiction, or prison release in facilities appropriate for their needs outside of residential areas?
Well,
Okay, Ron.
logistics is so important. A lot of the times we see them put in a shelter right in the middle of a neighborhood with families and all of this. No, we need to put them in areas that are convenient where they can go to the doctor easy. There's a healthcare center nearby. They're able to get help with their mental health nearby. And usually these are centers. Look at how they changed the Jamaica area. Let's talk about Jamaica, the last stop where you could catch the LIRR and things like this. You see the court system, everything is all together. If you put a shelter over there, they're not going to have to be there that long because guess what? Everything that they need to do is right there. So you're going to see people really get themselves together better when all the resources are right there. Now, why should we put these people, yes, we get that they're vulnerable, but they also might commit a crime. Sexual offenders are sometimes at these shelters. And you're putting them right where there's a bunch of schools and families. Is not fair to those New Yorkers who live in that neighborhood. And it's not fair to the people who are going to be traveling on the train for long amounts of times to go here, to go there. I got to go to my appointment there. I got to go to this appointment. And some of these people aren't even mobile like that to be going here, there. And they'll miss their appointments. There's so many different things in that. We need to look at the logistics of it, and we need to plan something better to whereas these people are able to take care of themselves, and we are still protecting our New Yorkers who are building a family, they're bringing a family. Come on, our future leaders of this great city, and we're going to just put smack dab, and then you have a little kid, and he's watching a crazy person. You're like,
Oh, no.
And we've seen it. We've seen it, and it's listen, facts are facts.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I second what he said.
Okay.
And I will propose maybe, I brought up earlier, maybe a facility, a place like Rikers Island.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. So they're separated from residential areas, and they get all the services and help they need. And for maybe the low-risk individuals, we'll have, of course, we have plenty of outpatient facilities throughout New York City for those individuals to go to, stuff like that. But they should not be in residential areas, especially where there's schools, where there's families. Because it's outrageous what the city's been doing the past several years, and they've been putting them just without the community's consent. With no community's consent, they're just putting these migrant shelters, just popping them here, popping them there, popping them everywhere. So yeah, if these politicians that are in support of this, why don't they go house them themselves? Don't be the first ones to take them in. If that's the case. So.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
And just to throw in there, especially with the migrant shelters, is that there's a lot of you in the government right now, in the local New York City government, who they love the migrant shelters because they're also making money and they're putting their friends onto these contracts, okay? And I think, I can't remember, it's somebody running for mayor, we actually spoke about it. I think it's our city comptroller who found all that money for the shelter from the migrants. He got us a bunch of billions back.
Wow.
And I salute him. He's amazing for that. People are making money off of the shelter system.
That's terrible. Oh my God, corruption all the way. All right, guys, thank you for your answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so next one for the homelessness is, would you support a law requiring that shelters get the respective community boards consent to building of shelters in residential neighborhoods?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
let the community boards, let individuals in each community decide to allow a shelter or a migrant shelter to be placed there. If the community says no, then they should respect the will of the community, 100%.
Okay, Bob?
I think we need to work on a classification of what type of shelter they are. That way the board can really see and say, okay, if we have a shelter, like you said, with migrants and things like that, again, put them in a city center. If you have one with families, mom, dad, and all of that, okay, we could put it in a residential neighborhood. Why? Because they need school, and they should live normal lives. Within a neighborhood, they can meet other kids. So we need to classify those, and within that, they need to be able to say yes or no. Remember, it's supposed to be the people, not the government.
Right.
And that's the problem. Government's getting so out of control, especially, and like you said, this is a one-party city, and what they say, one hand washes the other. The Democrats are sitting there watching each other's backs, and that is why corruption is happening, because we're a one-party city, and not enough people are able to have a voice. So let's give the control back to the people of New York.
Yes, you heard it first here on the show, people. Come on now, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. All right, so next topic we're going to talk about, guys, for both of you, is policing. Interesting topic. Okay, so let's get right to it, guys. So the question for both of you is, do you support increasing the NYPD budget and the number of police officers?
Yes.
Okay.
1,000,000%. The backbone of any good city is good policing, and we need law enforcement. We need law and order back in our city, instead of having criminals run wild. Instead of the inmates running the asylum, let law enforcement run our city.
Yeah.
So we all could, New Yorkers all could run, better, more efficient than ever. Okay. So I back that 1,000,000%. We need law and order. We need to clean up our streets. We need to clean up our schools. We need to get the drugs out. We need to get the guns off the streets. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
I created an initiative, and it is called the Fuego Night Initiative.
Ooh.
And we need a little bit more better training for our police officers, because we have a lot of new rookies.
Yeah.
They done took the teeth out of NYPD's mouth. Nobody's afraid of them. They disrespect them. They're like, man. Also, we need to make sure that we have community policing. At each and every high school, we need to have a cadet program and get the kids involved as well, because they can grow up knowing that NYPD is there to help you. Okay? Because of who you gonna call when somebody has a gun pointed at your head asking for your purse. And then, let's say they even catch him, he's getting out. And he's gonna be like, you snitched on me?
Wait till I get out.
Wait until I get out. And they'll tell him right to their face. Police officers, everybody heard it. So with the Fuego Night Initiative, as I said before, as you said, we need the police actually patrolling.
Right.
Actually doing their jobs, right? At certain times, like we have our holidays and weekends, we need to have the police set up in certain areas, especially in our commercial areas, handing out literature on how for New Yorkers to stay safe, try to have conversations with them,
right,
and just be all around at these times. Because guess what? They're communicating with the New Yorkers. Then the people are gaining more. They're like, okay, cool. They're speaking to people that look like them and different things like that. And learning, like, I'm not here to try to hurt you. I'm here to protect you.
I love that. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Very good, very good. All right, next one is immigration. Next topic. All right, so both of you guys, we have two questions for that. First one is, the right to shelter law has been interpreted to require New York City to provide shelter and services to anyone requesting shelter, paid for by New York taxpayers. Would you support a law to clarify that New York City's rights to shelter law shall only apply to green card holders and U.S. citizens? What's the start?
So,
Okay.
all right. It's a touchy one, right? The right to shelter was created a long time ago. We're not living in the same times as before.
No.
I used to work in Finland. I loved it. I made a lot of money.
Wow.
I made a lot of money. Was I able to stay there because I was making money? No. I have to go through a certain process. I can't just up and leave, oh, I'm not making money here. No, you need to stay home and you need to make your country, your city, or whatever a better place. This is the problem. People just leave and then, you know, come on, things just go down economically, and then this is why the country goes nuts. Look at Venezuela. So I think one thing we need to do is we need to put a stop to the economic migrants. If they're dealing with war and different things like this, apply for asylum. You know, please, we don't want to have anybody who's being bombed and hurt and things like this. But however, how much do we have to do when we're not even doing things for our own New Yorkers? It is outrageous. It is outrageous. And we have people like Adams from 1 second to the next. He took 5% from all of these cities agencies, including FDNY, NYPD, or the hospitals, the whole nine, to give it to the migrants. Now with Trump winning, right? Now all of a sudden he's against it. You better watch out, New York, for these politicians who will change on the change of a dime, at the switching of a president. We need somebody with integrity. To really enforce this. We don't need any more economic migrants. What we need is to protect and help our own citizens here in New York and make New York City a better place. And another thing, there's people in other countries who love this city, who has educations, and guess what? They speak English, they want to be here, they're very intelligent, they have a lot to bring to the table, and this is why we're in the back door, because we're just letting any and everybody here for no reason. Sorry.
No, thank you for your passion. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I second what he said. We need to put New Yorkers first.
Yes.
New Yorkers first.
If you're
Yes.
a true asylum seeker and went through the process, we'll find a place for you. We'll see what we can do. But so many people have came through the cracks here with our broken or formerly broken immigration system that now President Trump is trying to clean up the mess that's been going on the last 4 years with the previous administration.
Yeah.
So we need legal immigration.
Yes.
Okay, every other country has it. We had it for over 200 years. Of course, we're all sons or grandsons, granddaughters of immigrants. We're an immigrant nation here.
Yeah.
But there has to be checks and balances. And
Yep.
we need to put struggling New Yorkers, New York families, especially if they're homeless or displaced, we need to put them first.
Yeah.
So that's my answer with that.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, and the last one, I believe. Let me double check that. Okay, no, that was. Oh yeah, one more last one for immigration. So the next one is, as you guys know, I was just thinking about this. New York City is currently a sanctuary city, which limits information that New York City can provide to federal authorities such as immigration and customs enforcement, which is known as ICE. So do you guys support eliminating New York City's sanctuary city status?
Yes. Law and order, 100%.
Okay.
So once I'm a city council, I will push forward legislation, a bill, to repeal sanctuary city status.
Okay.
And if any agency or program supports sanctuary city initiatives, I will defund them. I will veto any bill with any funding. I will not give one more dollar of your New Yorkers' hard-earned tax-paying money to this migrant crisis, which has been propped up by the Biden administration.
Yep.
All right, to break America and to break our cities, such as New York. So I will defund sanctuary city status. I will work with my colleagues on both sides to repeal it 100%. That needs to be abolished. We'll take people that go through the legal process the right way, true, honest asylum seekers, you know, refugees that are intimate danger of their lives in other countries. You know, we will still support them as we always have done. You know, people that want the American dream. But we're not going to give anyone a free ride anymore. We're not going to give them a free ticket. Here you go. Here's thousands of dollars a month. You could go stay in a 5-star hotel. Here's thousands a month in cash and food stamps. Go have a good time. No, if you want to be a New Yorker, if you want to be American, you have to earn your keep like everybody else. You have to pay your dues and pay your way in.
Okay.
That's right. Pay your dues. I'm paying my dues as a politician because
And we need fiscal responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Paying your dues is important.
Definitely.
I mean, us as New Yorkers, if you were born here, you paid your dues because it is not easy being a New Yorker. Not only that, Sanctuary City, this law is so outdated. It is so outdated. And let's talk about why this came into development.
Okay.
This was originally made for the people who were coming from Puerto Rico, which is a part of the United States. I'm Puerto Rican and black, let me tell you. Okay, my family and my ancestors was affected by this one. The reason why they implemented it, because we saw a time where Puerto Ricans did not want to be a part of America because they were stealers and they steal from Puerto Rico. They treat Puerto Rico like it's nothing. And that I'm getting very tired of. And a lot of them don't want us to talk about Puerto Rico, but we are. This was really honestly made because we saw like people who were revolting. Actually, in the Lower East Side, there was a bombing that happened, and so what happened was they were really like monitoring the Puerto Rican people. I mean, just if you look up Campos and everything, this is why the Sanctuary City law came into place, because they were brutalizing the people of Puerto Rico, and the people did not want to be a part of this country because they look at Domino. Anybody look at Domino, Sugar, all these different things. I don't want to jump around, but they really took Puerto Rico by storm. So that's when we had some politicians come with the Sanctuary City to protect, but they're Americans, right? Yeah. That's the thing. Sanctuary City wasn't made from somebody from this place that wasn't a part of this country. The Puerto Ricans, they deserved it. They had their whole island stolen from them. They had a lot of things stolen from them. A lot of things.
Preach.
And,
yes.
You know, that's really why that was created. That wasn't created for somebody from Venezuela who just, I want to go to America. Because Kamala and Biden, they told them to come here. We're going to take care of you. Streets aren't paved with gold. And they came here thinking that. They thought, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. You saw they came in on city council. Oh, I don't think it's right. I don't think this is right. Honey, listen. The New Yorkers don't think it's right. And you think you like, come on. That's because we care. We want to hear everybody's opinion. Right. But let me make this quick. Is that we need to repeal it. And we need to let ICE know who's up in here. Because look at Dobrina Kawam, she was killed and murdered by somebody who jumped the border twice.
That's crazy.
Okay?
Yeah.
So people are dying, and the Sanctuary City law, let's get rid of it already. I don't care what Chicago does. I don't care what anybody else does. Right. But New York City, we need to get that repealed. We need to definitely work on that. Curtis Silva, I know, please. I really like Curtis Silva. Again.
I thought you was a Cuomo guy.
Well, here's the thing with Cuomo. I guess I'm more inspired by his father, Mario Cuomo.
He was very good mayor at one time.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, love-hate relationship. I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't, that's a very hard one, you know, and that is a hard one. I don't know. I haven't heard from Curtis Silva yet, so hopefully someday. Look, Curtis Silva, listen. Contact me, okay?
We'll see. We may know some people. Just throw it in there. Just
Okay.
wink, wink.
What's the next one?
Yes, but I think it's great what you guys are mentioning about this is fact that we're setting an example. You know that we've been too kind to people that come to this country.
It's unfortunate a lot of people are taking advantage of it.
Right, and take advantage of the resources that are really for everyone, but they for them, and there should be a limit as well. And at the same time that it should be for accessible in that sense. But
I'll tell that to our socialist friends in City Hall in Albany. Mm-hmm. They love to give our money away.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Billions and billions of dollars.
Billions. Just give it away.
Yeah.
Just give it away.
Yeah.
Give them a hotel too. Nice hotel, everything. But the New Yorkers who are struggling, give them nothing. That's what they're doing in New York.
Yeah.
Give them nothing. But some person who just came here out of wedlock.
But we're not career politicians, so what do
We're not career.
my
Thank God
goodness.
for
What do we know?
that. Thank God for that.
All right, next one, guys. Topic to discuss about the
I'm
show
sorry.
today. All right, so for transportation, my question to you is, do you support congestion pricing? Congestion pricing is $9 are per day on all vehicles entering Manhattan below 60th Street, and that is scheduled to increase to $12 in 2028, and then $15 in 2031. So, what is your about this? How do you feel about this?
Well, first off, yes and no. The most attractive thing that I liked about it is how the city looked, how it just looked so peaceful. I was like, wow. And before, it was a problem with a lot of cars being in our city and different things like this. I think as we have reduced fare Metro cards, we can implement a system where it could be for certain vulnerable New Yorkers, they can implement reduced congestion pricing for some. However, there's people who are traveling from Jersey and different things. Listen, I'm looking out for the best of New York City. So we can implement a system like with reduced congestion pricing, but I like what it's doing for our city.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So for drug use.
Well, to answer I oppose congestion pricing. 1,000,000%.
Okay.
I feel that it's another undue tax, taxation without representation.
Right. Right.
At the cost of struggling New Yorkers who are already struggling. And we already seen the past several months that businesses have a huge decrease in the districts, in the neighborhoods where the congestion pricing is in Manhattan.
Yeah.
They have had a huge drop in traffic. I'm talking about, in the stores, the businesses.
Right. Right.
They had a huge decrease, with that and the whole thing. And we have had an increase in all our costs, from the grocery store to the supermarket, to the pharmacy, anything that's getting imported in to Manhattan, it's an added tax.
Yeah.
And we don't we're the highest tax city, I dare say, in the country, besides California. New York is the highest tax state in the country, and we need to be helping New Yorkers, especially those that are commuting and bringing in goods and services into Manhattan instead of taxing them. So I'm happy that President Trump is repealing the congestion pricing.
Yeah.
That's coming to an end. Hopefully there's not a compromise on that.
Right.
Because, the MTA is already making billions and billions of dollars every year, but yet they're asking for more. Give me.
It's called greed. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're another agency that needs to be audited and need to be reviewed, because where's that money going? You want to get money, go after all the fare beaters who are doing fare evasion, go after them. Don't take it out of the struggling New Yorkers' pockets just for coming to work into Manhattan, coming into work into New York.
Right.
Don't take it out of their expense.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you
right.
guys. Thank you. All right, so drug use,
Yeah.
which is a very big one in New York City alone, here alone. The question for you would be, should safe injection sites be allowed in residential neighborhoods?
No.
And why is
Hell
that?
no. We are not turning New York City into San Francisco or Seattle. No, we're not going to let... This is another radical socialist idea.
Yes.
I don't know where it came from, but we're not going to... New York has already gone through decades of rampant drug use, been decimated from the 60s, like the 60s and 70s when heroin was introduced, and it went into our black and brown communities and decimated them. And we're still dealing with the effects today of rampant drug use. We're not going to give drug addicts free drugs. We're not going to give them a place to do their drug use. I'm totally against that. I will block any legislation that comes before me when it comes to that. If you want to do, if you want to have safe injection sites, go to Seattle, go to San Francisco,
Oh, wow.
not New York. I want New York City to be a drug-free zone. How about that?
I love that.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
I love that.
All right, we're going right into another interesting topic. We're all kind of going to talk about transgender. So this will be for you, Avan. Or the first question we have for you is, should transgender females, biologically males, identifying as females, should be allowed to participate on women's teams, qualify for women's scholarships, or have access to women's spaces?
Wow.
I mean,
You got the good one, didn't you?
And put me on it.
feel free to, yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'm very close with the transgender community.
Okay.
A lot of friends. Some of my very supporters are transgender. And, you know, shout out to Kimura. She's a very big supporter. And so, but here's the thing. We have certain people who are transgendered. They're not going to apply for this woman's scholarship. They're not going to apply for these things. And what, we're going to have a boxing thing where you see it happen.
They already do. They're in the Olympics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see it happen. I saw this one
A
case.
transgender boxer beat a female.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
But here's what you see, Jason, and I've seen this happen. Guy said he was transgendered or whatever. He did the competition. After he finished the competition, he was a man again. This really happened. We don't see these on the news because they're trying to cover it up. So we have people who take advantage of this, especially with the scholarships. Listen, women are already vulnerable citizens. I think. See, that's a difficult one.
Okay.
And I think that's something our president definitely needs to look at. And you know, I'm gonna take the L on that one because there's a lot of moving parts into it. But I do know there's people who do take advantage of it. Yeah. You know, and physically, if somebody's actually very masculine or manly, I don't think it's fair. I'll say that. I don't think it's fair.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. And last question for both you guys. Elections. Okay, this is fun. All right, so the question for both of you guys will be, do you support open primaries that will allow all registered voters to vote in any party primary of their choosing?
Yes. Why not? Let's have fair and open elections. Let's have, I know it's not on there, but let's have voter ID. Let's have voter ID in New York City. Let's have only citizens that are actual New Yorkers or Americans. Let's have citizens vote. I can't go to Canada as a U.S. citizen and go vote, can I?
No.
Can I go to Mexico and go vote there?
No.
So let's have New Yorkers and American citizens vote on American elections. So to circle back to that, yeah, let's have fair, open primaries, not restrictive to just the party, and let voters decide who they want to vote for, because maybe there is a conservative choice for borough president. Maybe there's a Republican choice for city council. You know, let's not restrict voters to only vote for their party, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, let it be open to everybody.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I totally agree with that as well, and because I think that's how they kind of like stunt, especially us new politicians, kind of. Because as you see, I'm going to talk about him. Adams, he's like, oh, I'm not going to be a Democrat anymore. I'm going to be a Republican. Okay, no, because you've been a politician for a long time. Now, as for me, I kind of did independent. I switched a couple of times Democrat, but I'm new at this. You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
And I think what we really need to see as well is we need to make it fair for in the elections, you know.
Yes.
There's one guy who's running for mayor, and he's just an evil person. Zalhani or something like that. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I really want to know his name because I want you to say "Beware New York." Yeah, so I think it needs to be more fair, for sure.
Okay.
Zohan?
I met him. We were actually on the panel together.
No way.
And I came at him at one of the mayor panels. He said, "We need faster buses." No, we need we don't need faster buses. How are you going to be stuck in traffic
Well,
with
we
a
need
fast
more
bus?
buses.
Exactly.
Let's throw more buses,
Have
okay?
you rode the M14 lately?
Oh, well, yeah, actually. We
We need more buses.
more buses.
Exactly.
Not faster buses, silly.
Well, that too,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we need more buses first.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. So, guys, before we close out the show, I want you guys to have your last final says about your campaign and where people can also find you and support you and contribute to your amazing campaigns as well. You want to start?
Okay.
Okay. Vaughn?
Awesome.
Yes.
So you can find me on Instagram, Von NYC. That's VON NYC 2025. And I have more stuff that's being developed as of right now. Okay. Stop at that Instagram. I have a lot of stuff on there where you can connect and see all the works that I'm doing. And I'm sure you guys will put something there below or something like that. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm Jason Murillo, and I'm not a career politician. I'm just one of you. Just someone who is fed up with a city government that doesn't serve or work for us. It doesn't work for you. We need someone to bring visionary leadership, someone to represent our district and New Yorkers with, I dare say, compassion and hard work. Something and someone that works for all of us. And you have a very important choice to make this November when you go to the ballot for city council, when you go for borough president, when you go for, if you're voting locally for district leader, all the way to public advocate to mayor, who would represent you moving forward for the next 4 years. And the choice is simple. Are you going to vote for someone who will fight for you every day? Protect, safeguard, and fully fund NYCHA. Someone who will hire more cops, put them on the streets, in the communities, and in our subways. Bring law and order back to our city and our communities. Fix and end this migrant crisis that is madness and wasteful spending of billions of your hard-earned tax dollars. We need a real bail reform to keep violent offenders behind bars where they belong. And we need to go after career criminals, and I dare say, not presidents. So, if you want someone to be fiscally responsible, to put you and your community and your family first, perhaps I am the man for that job. I'm Jason Murillo. I'm running for City Council in District 2. More information about me, just go to my website, jasonmurillo.com. for NYC.com, Jason, Murillo, for NYC.com, or DJ Loudmouth for NYC.com as well. I'm also, I guess, allegedly a celebrity DJ as well.
Yes.
On radio, television, and the whole thing. So perhaps I'll be your next celebrity city council representative for District 2 of the Lower East Side, East Village, Alphabet City, Ferriton, Kips Bay, Gramercy Park, and so on and so forth. And Murray Hill as well, and so on. And I thank you all for the time, and I appreciate this forum, this platform that you have given us today, Veronica. I very much appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And thank you, as always, to Manhattan Neighborhood Network for giving us the space to have true democracy here, where you can have Democrats, conservatives, and Republicans all at the same table.
Yes.
That's definitely. Before we go, what are your top 3 priority things you want to not discuss, but just tell the viewers watching before we get out of here, your top 3 things that you really want to enforce if you get into office?
Okay. So first off, I'm going to start with mental health, education, and then crime. Public safety, excuse me.
Oh, thank you. Well said. Well said.
Law and order, affordable housing, and fully fund our schools so we can have the best education system in the world.
Okay. Well, guys, enough said. I thank you both for your amazing time and what you guys are going to bring to the table, no pun intended, but, to New York City. And I cannot wait for you guys to definitely do great in your campaigns. And
Thank you.
You're welcome, and much success for both of you guys. And for this year, 2025, guys, please vote for them for City Council for District 2, Jason Murillo, and also our amazing other guests in the building. Yes, I have to stay there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Borough President for Queens. Yes, baby, that's right. Von Stephen Delvalle. I got you. Got
Perfect.
it. All right.
Perfect.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much.
No, thank you. Don't forget my hand. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God! Wow, that's from.
I feel such great energy.
No, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
This is all. You know how we do.
Yes.
We're just here to make a
Yes.
difference.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we all want New York City to be great again.
Yes, we do.
Amen.
Yes, we do. And for you too.
Yes. Those who are watching, and please vote for these amazing guys. November 4th, exactly right. November 4th.
November 4th, and then
We got
if
the
people have a primary,
Right.
June 24th.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
so-
New York, I just want to say this. It's up to all of us, each and every one of us. It's up to us. You can make a difference too. Just do right. That's all.
Go out and vote.
Start with you and go get out there and vote.
That's right.
All right.
Guys, we're out of here. Your girl, Vero G. The Vero G Spotlight TV show. Until next time, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.